Savage. That's his name. Bullets are his business. He's the baddest dude with the biggest gun. He's Savage.
I'm a technician.
Bringing in the old American know-how, huh? Peace Corps, soft imperialism, and all that.
Well, not quite like that.
I know your gun's for hire, but you really went off half-cocked this time. I heard about Moncato.
Shut up! Shut your mouth.
He's Savage. See what he does to stick it to the fuzz. The pigs couldn't plug him, the cooler couldn't keep him, and now the army can't off him. He's more than a man. He's a death machine. Savage.
You jive nigger. You got me in this. Now you get me out.
James Eagleheart is Savage. Carol Speed is Savage soul sister. Savage and his all-girl army. Together they'll blow you apart.
I used to practice this on my little brother. Now that's probably why I'm an only child.
Savage. 1,000 men want to stop him, and they're gonna die trying. Stronger than Slaughter, slicker than Shaft, more super high than Superfly. Savage. From New World, the pictures rated R.
This is San Francisco, one of the most charming cities in the world, but something most sinister is happening here. Murder. After murder. After murder.
Okay, men, over there.
Right.
Cover all
All
that.
connected with the deadliest gang in the city under the command of one man. Raymond Chow proudly presents Slaughter in San Francisco, starring karate champion USA Chuck Norris. He's mean. He's dangerous. He's reckless. And he's explosive. He kills for money, and he kills for thrills. This is what I deal in. Above all, he's a master fighter. Slaughter in San Francisco, the most action-packed thriller you will ever see.
No use getting excited, because you are gonna die.
Why would a simple murder case turn out to be a slaughter? See for yourself in Slaughter in San Francisco. Don't miss Slaughter in San Francisco, coming to this theater soon.
Hi, guess where I came from? A computer. Me and my hat. And everything else you're gonna see in this film. Computer Visual presents a new way to create pictures. Synthovision. And now, for you folks in advertising, the aerosol can-can. time for a station break. Next, let's take a ride. A car, please, Mr. Computer.
The Mothers. The most beautiful pirates that ever sunk a ship. Taking what they want until they invade an outlaw empire. Fighting females, unleashing their fury against the devil in his own playground. Where the devil has his own private hell, the black market and white slavery.
Let this serve as a lesson that no one can escape Montero. No one! Don't forget you're here for my convenience. And I can do any damn thing that I want.
Take a look at this. A house nigger. I don't think I have the stomach to do what you do.
I have to go through a lot more than picking coffee beans, honey. A hell of a lot more.
That's Burroughs. He's what you call a procurer for the flesh market.
The Mothers, a match for any stud.
There is no way out of here.
I'm gonna find it.
On land, at sea, they make it happen. The Mothers.
Sonny Shiba is back in his greatest, most important role. Battered, abused, but always invincible. Sonny Shiba returns to prove he is one of the greatest martial arts fighters of all time. The Street Fighter has a new image. The man of 1,000 faces.
What are you gonna do with us, officer? Lock us up with the garbage and throw away the key?
New Line Cinema brings you Sonny Shiba in The Street Fighter's Last Revenge.
You know what? I think we will make it out.
That's a good girl now.
Sonny Shiba, in one of his most challenging portrayals of the new Street Fighter, weaves a web of passion. Blood and ultimate brutal revenge. This is the last time you'll see Sonny Shiba as the Street Fighter.
Hey, Black, come on.
And it's Sonny Shiba at his most spectacular. Nobody messes with the Street Fighter. No guns, no fists. No fighter can stop him. For one of the most violent and explosive experiences of your life, don't miss Sonny Shiba in The Street Fighter's Last Revenge.
Goggles. Archie, look what I found. Peter shouted through the pipe. Motorcycle goggles. Archie watched Peter through the hole. He listened and smiled. Peter ran to the hideout and put on the goggles. Aren't they great? He asked. Archie smiled and nodded. Peter said, let's go over to your house and sit on the steps. Archie nodded. They started off. suddenly some big boys appeared. Give us those goggles, kid. No, they're mine, Peter said. His dog Willie growled. Archie, hold Willie, said Peter. Peter stuffed the goggles into his pocket and put up his fists. Archie gasped. Peter turned to see if something was wrong. The next thing he knew, he was knocked to the ground. Everyone stared at the goggles. Before anyone could move, Willie snatched the goggles and ran through a hole in the fence. The big boys chased after him. Meet you at the hideout, whispered Peter. You go this way, I'll go that way. They won't know where we're going. Willie will find us. Peter raced to the hideout. He sank down as low as he could. Footsteps. The big boys. They followed me. Peter held his breath. Archie! What was that? Archie looked through the hole. There were the big boys. And there was Willie. They would see him. Archie stared at the pipe. Suddenly, he spoke. Here, Willie! Through the pipe, fast! Willie! Peter peeked through the hole. The big boys were coming, closer and closer. Peter took a deep breath. Then he yelled through the pipe, Willie, meet us at the parking lot. Head for the parking lot, one of the big boys yelled. Let's go! Peter, Archie, and Willie crept out of the hideout. When they reached the fence, they got up and ran. They got to Archie's house. Archie laughed and said, we sure fooled them, didn't we? We sure did, said Peter. Things look well fine now, Archie said. They sure do, said Peter.
Meet the Centerfold Girls. They're the most beautiful girls in the world.
307 from Seattle.
They're ready for anything, anywhere, anytime.
Either that or swim back 8 miles.
Well, thanks for the exercise. Help you ladies keep those bodies in good shape. I don't need that kind of exercise to keep my shape.
And what kind do you need?
If I knew you better, I might tell you.
How far is it from beauty to ugliness?
Now look, we both know you've got too much talent to keep on modeling. You be nice to me and I'll get you into something big. Now.
You know, Melissa was right. There is a four-letter word for you, Perry. B-O-R-E.
Well, at least you spelled it right.
How far is it from beauty to terror?
Displaying your body is filth. You dirty the mind of others. Do you know what they should do with little girls like you?
I'm gonna make her look real pretty. Hey, here's your chopper. She's got $600 in her account.
There isn't gonna be any trouble, is there? I mean, between you and me?
What are you talking about?
You know damn well what I'm talking about.
I just want to help.
Well, that may be very good for Detective Magazine, Lieutenant, but I really...
You're a centerfold girl, and this lunatic, for some crazy reason, wants to kill pretty girls.
He had his choice of the most beautiful girls in the world. Which would he love? Which would he kill?
You scream and I'll slit your throat.
The Centerfold Girls, rated R.
调全省大军，请武当、峨眉两派高手，我要将少林寺烧成平地。你想造反？通缉官方世玉、吴慧贤，他们躲在什么地方？快说！他们就在老百姓中间。只要我们有一口气在，我们还是要干下去。我们要去联络各地的好汉，1传10，10传百，才能恢复大明江山。上！万一不幸全体殉难，我们少林子弟的忠义正气长存在天地之间，成人取义就在今天。
This exercise represents maximum tension. Ichi. Knee. Slowly opening the mouth, opening the eyes, keeping the chin pushed into the back of the neck, all the way back.
This is Harlem. In many ways, it is the capital of Black America and a prime example of the problems that plague all the ghettos of the nation. Harlem covers approximately 2 square miles at the northern end of Manhattan Island. Into this area are packed 400,000 men, women, and children under conditions that are often too grim to think about. Some 15% of all housing in Harlem is considered substandard, with gaping holes in ceilings and walls. Unemployment is 50% higher than the rest of the country, and 8 or 9 times higher for the young black males who cluster on every street corner. For many, particularly among these young people, the problems of the ghetto produce a dependency on drugs and a brutal defiance of law and order. Accordingly, there is a disproportionate amount of crime by blacks against blacks, and a corresponding blanket of fear. In 1973, police precincts in the heart of Harlem recorded 11,239 robberies, 5,146 assaults, and 375 homicides. Many of the fancy nightclubs and theaters that once flourished in Harlem have had to close because customers are not willing to come out at night. Only the famous Apollo and a few others remain. Part of the Harlem scene today is a growing interest in black culture and black power, from conventional politics to radical groups far more militant than the old Black Panthers. But there is also more fear today in the ghetto than anywhere else in the city, not only because there is more crime there, but because there is less protection as well, poor lighting, and a police force still controlled by whites, whose commitment to black residents is often open to question. According to one psychologist, blacks feel that they're not really protected by any white-run social institution, and that the policeman on the beat may be as much an enemy as any mugger in the alley.
I have seen so many people robbed right there, knocked down.
People getting robbed, mugged, shot, various reasons. Nobody never knows.
Don't scream, you won't get hurt. Don't scream, you won't get hurt. I'm frozen. Where's the money? Where's the money? What money? I have no money. I have $7. Take it. They ripped the pocketbook open. They ripped this. They went through the house. We don't want to hurt the lady. We don't want to hurt the lady. Of course, they said to me, turn your face to the window. Don't look around. Turn your face to the window or we'll kill you. So I turned my face to the window. They took my television out. And for about 3 weeks, I was a nervous wreck. When I think about it now, I'm still a nervous wreck.
I came to New York in the year of 1927. And at that time, Harlem was beautiful. Lenox Avenue was a big street. 7th Avenue, St. Nicholas Avenue. Everybody was congenial. You could get around without any fare at all.
This is tomorrow, the day after the end. A world once destroyed, now reborn. Without rules. Without justice. Without water. Only the strongest survive. This is a land he calls home. They call him Stryker. Amazon warriors prowl the wasteland, wanted for their secret. The last clear spring on Earth.
Where did you get the water?
Time is running out.
Let's take her down.
Stryker, one last hero taking one last chance.
Everybody's got their own highway to hell. You got yours, I got mine. Water is power.
Water is life, and when a drop is worth fighting for, Stryker knows a truckload is worth dying for. This is the ultimate fight for life. It's a losing battle. Is this the end of all that is left? Or a legend about to begin?
Get ready. Let's go!
Their odds are 1,000,000 to 1. Stryker's the one. Stryker.
The numbers game, the numbers game, the numbers game. Play the numbers game. It can be good to you. We take quarters, dimes, and nickels too. Check your number, play it all, hit it big, you're walking tall. The numbers game, you pick and choose. Come on, number. Baby needs a new pair of shoes. Meet Pasha,
#1 in the numbers racket.
Numbers is my business, and I want to be left alone to do it.
The contract is out on you. The order came from Chicago, not from me, understand?
Call them and get them to give me 30 days to liquidate.
The mob doesn't give anybody 30 days. Blazing Guns is the mob's way of saying goodbye. And you gotta fight to stay alive. See it all in Baby Needs a New Pair of Shoes.
You owe me $1.50 come Saturday.
Okay,
all right?
I'll pay you.
And stop jiving.
All right.
All right.
It's doggone everything cool.
I want to be a football player and make lots of money and buy a big mansion.
Billy, I'll probably take care of you all your life. I'll be a millionaire before you get out of 6th grade.
Nathan. They got the kid, Nathan.
Do it! You niggas all want to go to heaven, but you don't want to die.
What are you wearing that big mama llama for?
We've been talking all night about how we're going to protect ourselves. Now it's up to you to get off the pot.
Baby Needs a New Pair of Shoes swings. And when you're #1, as Posher is, you know how to live. But when your number's up, this true-to-life story, Baby Needs a New Pair of Shoes. Rated R.
The numbers game.
Can you type? Take steno? That's all they really care about. It doesn't matter if you've got talent or ability. A miniskirt and a steno pad. That's all they want.
Despite the great difficulties they face in the job market, women are beginning to make new inroads and careers with lots of hard work. They know they have to be better than a man in a job that is traditionally his, not just as good, to even get a chance. We are plagued by a social situation in which women are not yet equal partners in the business of life. Advocates for Women works for change. Support us.
You're listening to Sky High, the theme song from the exciting, rough, tough movie The Man from Hong Kong, starring Jimmy Wang Yu, George Lazenby, and Rebecca Gilly. Sky High, brought to you on Splash Records, is now available from your local record dealer. Watch out for The Man from Hong Kong, coming to this theater soon.
His name, Stud Brown.
Stud Brown's gonna take care of you.
And he's the baddest news in town. But don't cross him, because once you do, there's nowhere on earth you can hide.
Brother, please. I didn't mean to.
Stud Brown. He packs the biggest rod in town. Rated R.
The Art of the Samurai. Not fast enough.
He could be just another war casualty.
You asking me to kill one of my own kind?
The only brother's the man of the dollar bill. And he ain't black.
Douglas Russell, a cold, calculating death machine. A one-man death force.
That kid needs a father.
He don't need a mother like you for a father.
You got sent out here to pick up a Japanese straggler. Do I look like a Japanese straggler?
Morelli got a guy named McGee with him?
Oh, like a Siamese twin.
I think I'll look him up.
Where's Morelli? And McGee? I asked you a question.
Whoever it is, I want him.
Let the guy go. You'll probably never hear from him again.
Look, Brooks, you better make sure I never hear from him again. You got it?
What the hell did he ever know about swords?
Hey, I'll take you down to the morgue, and I'll show you what he knows about swords.
Out of doorways, black umbrellas came to pursue me. Let it go, please.
I can't. Get the hell out of here! Move! I'm gonna kill him!
100 grand, Russell.
I didn't know I was worth so much.
What are you talking about, quitting?
Because I want to hang on to my head.
Death Force. When would he stop? And who could stop him?
Have you ever wished for one product that would clean and shine almost everything in your house? Here it is, Clean and Shine. Like magic, Clean and Shine leaves a nice shine on fine wood furniture, so you don't need furniture polish. It cleans and shines mirrors, so you don't need glass cleaner for mirrors. It cleans and shines refrigerators, like this kitchen product, even countertops, tile, and vinyl. Try new Clean and Shine, the foam that cleans and shines almost everything in your house.
Hope you don't mind another practice game, Spot. But I gotta break in this new checkerboard if I expect to win the police championship. Cut! Stop the action! Well, if that don't beat everything, you fellas are making a moving picture of the Central City Bank, right? Wrong! Even I, the great Eric von Erich, can't start until we find an actor for a part of the handsome young janitor. Then your worries are over. Get a load of this profile. Magnificent! The role is yours. Just run inside, give this to the teller, then run out and put the money in that car. Gotcha. Roll the camera. Action! How'd I do? Wait here till we develop the film. Now, why would them fellas be in such an all-fired hurry to get away?
That's him! The crook who just robbed the bank! Arrest him!
Hello, hello, police headquarters. This is Rosemary, your luscious lady law person. Give me that again, please. Second, third, fourth, not 5. Okay, 10-4.
Second, third, fourth. Haven't we got enough trouble without you learning how to count on police department time?
That was the Second Central Bank on 3rd Street. This is the 4th time they've called to say they've heard 5 rumors that somebody was going to rob them.
But we only got 6 men, and I loaned them all to the 7th precinct.
Then we're right behind the 8 ball, unless...
Hong Kong Fooey would drop whatever he's doing and try to head off those crooks.
Good boy, Spot. I could hear the sergeant yelling for help. So, Geronimo! Yeah. Now to tip your toe out of here to thwart them thieves. I better see if there's anything in my Hong Kong book of Kung Fu about opening shut jail cells. Yeah, 'tis the Ting Twang Harp Twang. Right there in the evening, my unerring instincts have led me straight through the crook. Okay, Mr. Eric Von Erich, you're under arrest for bank robbing.
But I am not Erich von Erich. I am the great Werner von Werner.
Then you ain't robbing this here bank?
Of course not. I am shooting a film about bank robbers.
How can you prove that?
Simple. No crook would rob a bank with the great Hong Kong Fooey around. So I'll give you the lead in the film.
Don't pay no mind to Spot. He's just jealous. What you want me to do?
Just pretend you're an armored car messenger and tell the teller to give you all the money.
Gotcha. One more thing. I look best in the right profile.
Roll the camera. Action! Cut! And cut out!
He's the one, Sergeant. He took every bit of money we had in the bank.
Is that right, Hong Kong Fooey?
Sure is, Sergeant. But I was only play acting.
Well, maybe you were only acting, but I'm not. You're under arrest.
つ。池橋、女ドラゴンが輸入ヘアの倉庫を襲ったぞ。この日本の少林寺は君を決して見捨てん。
Rangers.
Enter Jim Dragon Kelly. He clubbers them up as Black Belt Jones.
I lost 3 of my best men in there. Now I'm asking you as a favor.
You're asking me to be the 4th. Get a couple tanks and blast it down. Forget it, man. I ain't going in there. It's a fortress.
Well, fortress or no, it's top priority.
So am I. It's suicide.
And dust to dust.
Now, who killed my father? Who's Pinky?
What you wonder for, little mama?
I ain't your mama.
She brought P. What's wrong, man?
Oh, Black Belt, she is good, man. She is bad.
Boy, what are you talking about?
Sydney, she went into the hip pocket.
What?
She's a fighter like us, man. And pop, pop. She is fast. Ooh, she's bad.
Now, what are you doing? No, you stay here till I get back. Do those dishes or something.
They're done.
Black Belt Jones leads his private commandos into the nerve center of a gangland stronghold to crack a super crime conspiracy. Enter Jim Dragon Kelly.
You don't need these.
What the hell is that? Panties? That son of a bitch threw his panties in my face?
This is the movie that breaks through to a new dimension in film excitement as Kelly takes on the underworld.
The same organisms that we find here in this water and that we see under the microscope here, can we find these same organisms in our drinking water?
I have a little sister at home. She don't eat the paint, but she plays with it, and I would like to know if there's any danger towards that.
Suppose you're listening to a radio and you're using an earphone. How long before the noise will affect your ears?
How come in the morning when you turn on the water's cloudy?
First of all, when water leaves...
Questions from high school students awaken suddenly to the fact that science may play an important part in their lives. All too often, high school science students have been unable to relate what they are learning to the society they live in. To demonstrate that science is relevant to the local community, a mobile science laboratory is now traveling from high school to high school in Washington, D.C. It stays at one school location from 1 to 2 weeks, supplementing and enriching the regular classroom programs. The lab is a pilot project created at Federal City College in Washington in cooperation with the public schools of the District of Columbia and backed by a grant from the National Science Foundation. It's a working laboratory that stresses topics of concern to local citizens: air, water and noise pollution, nutrition, cigarette smoking, drugs. It shows how these problems affect the community and what can be done to solve them.
A child who is eating paint can die, can become blind, mentally retarded for life.
What we have in this beaker here is what we consider as polluted water.
What happens is man breathes carbon dioxide under normal conditions to the upper portion of the lungs. But inasmuch as carbon monoxide is in the air, it acts as a catalyst, and it causes man to inhale it deeper into the lungs where he cannot throw it out.
There are 5 scientific specialties presented in the lab: physics, mathematics, applied science, chemistry, and biology. Science undergraduates at Federal City College present the material.
Place the plant under the bell jar. And then put the sodium sulfite into the first filtering flask and the sodium carbonate into the second filtering flask. The next thing you want to do is to pour the sodium sulfite one into each filtering flask. What will happen, we have mixed the chemicals, and as soon as we pour the sulfuric acid into the filtering flask, you'll see a reaction, and the gases will flow into the chamber.
High school students rotate from specialty to specialty, actually participating in practical experiments. Some may discover for themselves the damaging effects of sulfur dioxide, a major pollutant of the air. Others may test samples of paint from their own homes. The students process the paint samples and are able to discover for themselves whether or not the paint in their homes is a potential hazard to young children. If the final step produces a yellow precipitate, the presence of lead is confirmed.
Sound is beautiful, but noise is hazardous to the hearing, right?
Still another group may learn about noise pollution, and in the process becomes acquainted with sophisticated instrumentation.
We're going to talk in terms of animal life and water. Now,
others may be learning about water pollution, comparing the behavior of animals in water known to be fresh against their behavior in water taken from local rivers and streams.
There's no life in it, and we begin to pour junk into it.
The sun helps to trap the particles.
Still others may duplicate the techniques used in municipal water purification plants, filtering samples from the local water source, then testing them for purity.
All the way down here, it passes over these rocks. These rocks are just natural.
While this is going on, other students are learning about mathematical variables and percentages, working with data from the various experiments. Math is given meaning by relating it to the experiments the students themselves are performing.
There's a 6 down the bottom here, right? So one of the considerations is what number...
In off-school hours and during the summer months, the lab, in coordination with community groups, remains open. Parents and other people from the neighborhood are encouraged to come in and learn how science is relevant to them. The aim here, as well as that of the school program, is only partly to provide learning about scientific matters. Equally important is generating appreciation, interest, and even enthusiasm about science, learning about the role it plays in urban life. In some cases, it may be a very personal awakening to a problem in the student's own home.
How come people can drink that water?
It may encourage some students to want to help solve the problems of our environment. It may even awaken interest that could launch others into careers in science. For the college students doing the teaching, there is a special benefit, for they are demonstrating to themselves, as well as to others, that science is relevant in today's world, and through it, they are able to make a meaningful contribution.
And now from Medusa, Wheels of Fire.
This is the future, and it's up for grabs. Doomsday is history. Only the strong survive.
that stands between civilization and chaos are wheels of fire, and a stranger who drives as if there's no tomorrow, because there may not be one. Wheels of fire. They're ruthless animals on a desert rampage, and they've got his sister.
Put her down.
She's not going to be the same, Grace. I've seen what these people can do to a woman.
No ordinary man could save her, but this is no ordinary man. Where is she, Spike?
The fortress.
Fire! One last hero making one last stand.
I'm gonna get her back.
This is the future. It's every man for himself. Time is running out. It's a world without laws, without justice. There are no rules. Nothing can stop the vicious road scum who ravage the wasteland in machines of destruction. The ultimate confrontation between good and evil. Nothing can stop his wheels of fire. When the heat is on, he'll go the distance. Wheels of fire.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah, Chuck?
You watched that Night Stalk on TV last night?
That thing on ABC?
Yeah.
Oh, some pretty frightening stuff there, huh?
Man.
You know I don't scare easy. But I had to leave the room.
You too?
The Curtis home, Washington, D.C. Clifton and Mama talking it over.
When are you going to settle down? You're wearing me to death, running around with a different girl every night, and getting to bed at all hours.
Mama, last night I was in the bed by 10:30.
What are you talking about? You didn't get home until 4 o'clock.
This is Clifton's best friend, Earl, proud of his government responsibilities.
Go, you know what our motto is. Neither rain, nor sleet, nor hail can delay the U.S. mail.
But there's nothing in there about the U.S. bomber.
And this is Clifton's sister, always ready with a kind word.
Naughty, 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 naughty. You naughty boy. Mama called me up and told me all about it.
Now, Trey.
That's really stupid. A waitress in an army camp. I really thought you had better taste than that, big brother.
Well, I was only seeing her to make Diana Ross jealous.
Clifton Davis and Teresa Merritt in That's My Mama.